Good evening. Welcome to Mac and Talk number 75 for Tuesday, November 25th, 2025. I'm your host, Chanelle Allen. I am glad that you are joining us now or later on via the podcast recording. Mac and Talk is a Q&A conference call for anyone with Mac questions. Whether you are just getting started and need some encouragement and tips for learning VoiceOver, or you are thinking about the purchase of a Mac, or you could be a long-time Mac user with some questions or a really cool trick to share, whatever the reason, we are glad that you are here tonight. Before we get into your questions, the best part of the program, let's go over some iBug announcements. You can find us on the web at ibugtoday.org. Register to become a member. And what happens is you sign up and you get on our email list and you'll be informed about upcoming events. For instance, on Monday, December 1st, you will receive a calendar of all the upcoming events for December. On our page, you will also find links to the archives of our past workshop recordings, a link to go to Mac and Talk and find more information about that in the Mac training course. So lots of great info to check out on the iBug Today website. We are also on social media, facebook.com/groups/iBugToday. That's a great place to interact in between our calls, as well as on our Mac and Talk discussion list. And we love to get discussion there, any of your Mac questions. So look up the details on how to subscribe to that on the iBug website. We are on YouTube. If you like to watch YouTube videos, you can just search for iBug Today and find all of our previous recordings there. And many are organized into playlists. So you can find all the iBug cafes, all the Mac and Talks, even a previous Mac training course from several years ago. And you can also listen to us with your favorite podcast app or smart speaker of choice. Just search for iBug, like iBug Buzz, iBug Mac and Talk, iBug Cafe, and iBug Apple Workshop. As far as our events coming up this week, the main one I know of is the movie night, Friday evening beginning at 7 with the pre-movie social, followed by the movie at 8. And this week's movie is Elf. I think we're getting into our Christmas season movies. Elf from 2003, so come check that out. And stay tuned for other announcements. We do, of course, every Monday have iBug Buzz from 7 to 9 p.m. Central. And the movie times were Central, too. All times are Central. All take place at the same Zoom link you used to get in here tonight. And stay tuned for other announcements. I know we have a fun, like a Christmas party Zoom thing coming up in December for the Apple Workshop. We have our iBug Cafe. Lots of great stuff to look forward to. But now it's time to go around the room, say who you are, where you are calling from, and if this is your first time joining us. And I'm Chanelle in Houston.
This is Herbie, and I'm right next door in the next room.
All right. Welcome, Herbie.
I'm Shireen from New Hampshire, and I'm part of the Mac training class.
Welcome, Shireen.
Thank you.
Donna from Virginia, and I'm part of the Mac class.
Welcome, Donna.
Robert
Hi.
from Chandler, Arizona. I was a member of the Mac training class last spring.
Yes. Welcome, Robert. And sorry, who was speaking just now as well?
Oh, I'm sorry. My name is Carolyn. I'm from Virginia, and Santa is bringing me a Mac.
Oh, exciting.
So my husband is getting it at Costco. So a MacBook Pro with a M5 Pro chip. So
all right. Well, we will let you ask questions in a few minutes. Is this your first time joining us?
From Costco
Yes.
now? I kind of thought it was at the North Pole.
Okay. All right, Herbie. Let's move on. All right. Who's next?
Eli
This is
Malaysia.
Soraya from Florida.
Welcome, Eli. Welcome, Soraya.
Kendra
Peace from
from
Florida.
Oregon.
Kendra and Pete. Welcome to you both.
And I'm from the Mac class.
Yep.
The current one.
Yep. Welcome.
You did hear Eli, right?
Yes, I said, sorry, I meant to say that.
Sure.
Yeah,
No?
he did.
Good.
Yes, she did. Excuse me.
Okay.
Judy in Connecticut.
Welcome, Judy.
Thank you.
This is Lillian in Portland, Oregon.
Welcome, Lillian.
This is Christian in Oregon.
Lots of Oregonians. Welcome.
This Karen, is Texas.
Welcome, Karen. Glad to have you here, too.
This is Jessica from Massachusetts, and I'm in the Mac training class.
Awesome. Welcome.
Audio now unmuted. I'm in Indiana, and I've survived the Mac training class last spring also.
You did more than survive. Yes, you helped lead a study group. Welcome, Tim.
This is Darcy in Ontario, Canada. It's not my first time here, but it's been a while.
It has. Welcome back.
Dan from Southern California.
Welcome, Dan. Glad to have you back, too.
Paul in Columbus.
Welcome, Paul. Nice to have you.
Well, this is Herbie.
Yes, go ahead.
I just want to say that I am really impressed. This is the first time I've seen a class where most of the students openly admit that they're part of the class. The rest of you all, it's like you're all in the witness protection program or something. So I don't know what we did differently this last year, because we have the class and the former class students fully admitting it, but I'm impressed.
All right. Is that my headset switched on me? Is that everybody? Did we go through everyone?
I don't think Cindy has introduced herself. Giza, Jim. We have 2 Johns.
Oh, wow.
Did Karen say hi?
She did.
Okay. Did Pete introduce himself?
Of course. But people, you do not have to introduce you can ask a question at any time. So introducing yourself is not a limitation. But let's go back to Carolyn. So you're just getting a Mac. Is this your first time joining an iBug call together, or have you been part of some of our other groups?
No, this is the first time I've come to this one. So I have used Windows for 28 years, and I decided it's time to go to a Mac.
All right. And how did you hear about iBug?
Just from friends.
Okay.
So decided to come.
Awesome. And do you use other Apple devices, or is this your first foray into the Apple world? Okay.
I've been using the iPhone since 2014, so I'm familiar with that anyway. I've just got a lot to learn on the machine, but that'll be okay.
Just take it in small pieces, and you are welcome. Would you like to ask a question now, or would you like to wait and chime in later? It's totally up to you.
The only question I'd like to ask, well, like I said, my husband's getting it at Costco, and I don't know everything that it comes with, but I would assume I need a case, and isn't there a sleeve you can put your MacBook Pro in? Like if it's on a desk or something, it'll keep it from, getting scratched and stuff. I think they call it a sleeve, is it? You can put the...
let's see if somebody else can answer that.
Because I saw something on that about before that you could get. I thought it was called a sleeve that you could put, or a sling or something like that. You could put it in.
This is Herbie.
Go ahead, Herbie.
That's something that you'd probably be buying separately. I don't remember any cases. The last time I got a laptop, I don't remember any cases. It has like a plastic covering.
Okay.
But if you want a case for it, I think that's something you're going to have to get separately.
This is Pete.
And I thought I heard Christian chime in too.
Oh, yeah. I was just going to say you can get cases pretty cheap off of Amazon. Okay. And that can just go on like the top of the lid, and there's like something you can get on the bottom, but I never put the bottom one on. And that just protects the top of it from getting scratched. And they usually come with like a little protective thing to go over the keyboard so you don't get crumbs and stuff in there.
And what about a screen protector?
No, you don't really need a screen protector. I mean, you can get, I think you can get one, but I never bother.
Yeah. Okay.
And then the sleeve that you're talking about is for like travel.
Okay.
You can get like a little, almost like a little envelope thing that you can like slide the laptop in if you were taking it with you to the office or to school or something like that.
Okay. Great. Thank you so much.
Yeah, just to add to the sleeve, I had one years ago when I had a MacBook Pro, and it is exactly as she said. It kind of, just as it says, it's a sleeve, and I think it keeps it closed. I don't know if you can operate it and use it and open it with the sleeve on. I think that inhibits your ability to open the lid.
Yeah, the sleeve is like padded
just
to keep
a
it
protector
from.
thing, right? Yeah, when you're traveling or something.
Well, thank you all so much.
You're welcome.
Eli.
Yes, go ahead, Eli.
Okay, so I did not get that keyboard shortcut Darcy mentioned earlier before the meeting or making talk to permanently shut down the Mac. What was the shortcut again?
All right, so let me just kind of preface the topic. So we were talking about the difficulty in knowing when our Macs are shut down. And it can be really frustrating because they're very quiet and you can turn it on sometimes by accident, just by bumping a key. So Darcy gave us a really cool trick for how to like totally put your Mac in the ultimate mode where the only thing that powers it back on is the power button. And so that's what we were talking about. And Darcy, if you have that shortcut ready.
Well put, Chanelle.
You're welcome to share that.
It would help if I unmuted, wouldn't it?
There you go. Yeah.
All right. Okay. So, so it is to shut down the Mac. What you want to do is, and I would, make sure all your apps are closed before you do this. Because it is sort of like, when you hold down the power button, sort of like you want, I think it does a proper shutdown, but you still want to make sure. So you want to hold down the left control key, the left command key, and the right shift key for 7 seconds. So so this is definitely a two-handed operation. And then once you've done that, you keep holding those down. Then hold down the power button for an additional 7 seconds, and then it will shut down. And you'll know you've shut it down because the trackpad won't move. Like the trackpad becomes very stiff, and it doesn't move that much. And then all the other keys will not turn it on, which is really nice if you're going to travel or you just want to make sure it's off. Or especially where I find it useful is if you want to clean the keyboard, you just want to wipe it off with
Yes, I wanted to do that before.
And it's really hard to do that without pressing keys. So
it is.
So that's what I do. I don't do it all that often. I don't think it would hurt it or anything, but it just, most of the time, if I'm going to turn it off, I'll just wait about, 20, 30 seconds and then close the lid and be fairly confident that it's off. But if you really want to make sure it's off, then that's what you can do.
All right. Thanks for that tip. And
thank you, Darcy. Thank you.
Yep. All right. Who has our next question?
Well, this is Herbie.
Yes, go ahead, Herbie.
So just one previous question with that trick. Darcy, you mentioned the trackpad getting stiff or whatever. Does it get stiff if you do a normal shutdown?
No, it doesn't, and it presses just like normal, and then it powers back back up. So it's still
because I don't have an M.
Yeah,
it's a mix, so I didn't.
There was a way to do it with the Intel Macs, but I could never make it happen consistently. So I kind of but like there was a key that was similar to that would do it, but it didn't seem like it worked consistently. And then sometimes I had trouble getting it to turn back on again, which is obviously not good.
Well, I think I'll refrain from trying it then.
Yeah. So, but yeah, it's because the thing about the trackpad that a lot of people might not realize is it does move a little bit, but the majority of what happens is it actually there's like a little haptic motor in there that makes a click. So it's more of like an illusion that it's clicking. And so it's really
like
weird.
What they did with the home button back when the phones had that.
Which is still hard to believe that wasn't actually moving, because it felt like it was.
Yeah.
And so it's strange when it's powered off because it's just like a solid, like it still flexes like a little bit, but not that much.
Right. All right.
All right.
Well, Shireen.
Yes, go ahead, Shireen.
I got an email from National Braille Press about a Mac reference card for Tahoe.
I think I saw that. Yeah, go ahead.
And I'm wondering if you think that could be valuable.
It could. Has anybody else? I mean, I purchased a National Braille Press book a long.
Eli.
Go ahead, Eli.
Yes, and to the person who asked the question, yes, I purchased it. It is, I guess, if you are into the basics of learning Mac with VoiceOver, then it may come useful. But if you are taking a Mac VoiceOver course before, you wouldn't need it. Maybe it's a refresher, at the most.
It's a refresher.
So it could be useful, but if you've already kind of used, it sounds like you're saying it's pretty basic.
Yes, very basic.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you, Eli.
But I know it can be nice to have, some written things in Braille in front of you. Sometimes if I really want to memorize or learn something, I'll have to, write it in Braille. So I get it.
Yeah, that's what I'm wondering, if it just to be able to pull it out if I can't remember something or want to refresh something.
Right. Typically, I know sometimes their things have like a pretty detailed table of contents, but I don't know if just a reference card or guide would.
This is Jessica.
And their reference guides are like bigger. They're not, it's called a reference card, right, Jessica? But it's not really.
That's right, Jessica. Yeah. You work for them. So
I do. And unfortunately, I didn't read it. This one just went to the embosser. So, but generally our even for the references cards, the table of contents is very detailed. So, but yeah, I wish
you got to see it.
I got to see it. I might still, but I haven't. So,
okay, I was just wondering if I should spend the money.
I did. I told them that we badly needed an update to the MacBook that they had out because it was for Big Sur, and so I guess they did the reference card instead of the Mac Basics. But maybe it has, since it's a reference card, it might actually have more commands in it than the Mac Basics did.
Okay.
I don't know.
Okay, thank you.
Right, good question. Deciding what to spend the Christmas money on. All right.
I have the employee discount, so I may buy it anyway, because, yeah.
Well, it wasn't too bad for anybody who might be interested. It's $14. So it's not terrible.
No, we don't. Our things aren't that expensive anyway. But
you've been in the class. I know I've given you some lists of keyboard shortcut. Well, actually, in the syllabus, there's a resources section that links to articles that give all these shortcuts and stuff too. So you can get the info freely out there if you want it, but having the Braille is super convenient.
Right. That's what I'm talking about.
Yep. Go ahead, Pete.
Speaking of reference guides and books, I remember back in the day, Janet Ingber had a getting acquainted with the Mac kind of a book, which was very useful at the time. Is there anything like that now?
That was the one I said we needed updated very badly.
Oh, okay.
And even that one I found to kind of be a little bit off. I mean, knowing what I know more about the Mac now, and I think I thought when I read it there were some errors, but I could. It's been such a long time, so it would definitely need to be updated.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, next question, please.
Karen.
Go ahead, Karen.
Didn't I hear that the San Francisco Lighthouse does the Apple Mac user guide in Braille?
You can download a BRF of the user guide. You can go to the website, the voiceover. And I don't know who does that, but you can certainly download the BRF. And I'm sure if they've produced it in hard copy somewhere. I don't know.
Okay,
I know it's possible to download the BRF. What? Go ahead.
No, I just thought that I heard that you could get the hard copy Braille, and I thought it was from the San Francisco Lighthouse, but I don't know how much it is. But that's good to know that you can download the BRF to the Braille display.
Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you.
Yep.
This is Jessica.
Nicole works for the San Francisco Lighthouse, but I don't think she's here.
Right. Go ahead, Jessica.
Where it's on the Apple website, right? But where do you find the BRF? Because I was looking for that a while ago.
Oh, you know what? I will have to find it.
Robert?
Yeah, go ahead, Robert.
I believe if you're on the Apple support pages, guides, and you go through one of their listings down at the bottom, they say that this guide is available and they mention the BRF, and if you click on that, you can download it, I believe. I saw it I heard it from voiceover when you're at the very bottom of one of their guide pages, they say that it is available in BRF format.
All right.
Okay. Thanks.
Good question. Next, who would like to ask the next question?
This is Angelica.
Oh, hi, Angelica. Welcome.
I just wanted to ask, am I in the correct meeting?
Well, what do you want to be here for?
I'm just asking because I know I get the iBug meetings during the week, so
right. This one is for Mac and Talk, so if you want to learn about the Mac, then you're in the right place.
Okay.
All righty. Who would like to ask our next question?
Donna.
Yeah, go ahead, Donna.
So forgive me, but I'm going to have to ask this question.
Okay.
So I know you can move, like if I've moved something, if I downloaded something to documents, I did it to documents because I had to do it quick because I wasn't in a position where I could play with it. But I can move that over to the a folder that I want it to be in, right?
Yes, you can.
And is there a specific command that will help me move it from one folder to the other without going through a lot of stuff, or will I have to go through a lot of stuff?
If you're able to, I would review the lesson on Finder so that you understand the structure of how things are laid out. But in the simplest, who might want to, I guess it depends. Are you wanting to move it to another subfolder in Documents? Are you wanting to move it to a physical drive? Are you wanting to move it to another folder? You know, because
yeah, I want to move it to another folder.
Okay. So have you created said folder?
Not yet, but I'm going to. I know how to do that.
Right. Well, so think about where you want that folder to be and then where that is in relation to Documents. And if you can use folder shortcuts along the way to...
Okay.
Can you, is it possible that you can just copy or cut the folder and then paste it into where you want it?
Yeah, you can totally take the file and do a Command C and then find the folder where you want it and do a Command Option V to move it.
Noise is a little loud, Chanelle.
That's too much noise.
That background noise is a little loud.
Oh, I'm going to mute.
Okay. Let's see. And I'm so sorry. I see that we have hands raised. So we don't do raised hands here, just so people know. And then if everybody could mute if you're not speaking, that would be greatly appreciated.
Sorry, I think I just bumped the raised hand feature. I didn't even realize I did that.
No, that's okay. No problem. So where were we?
This is Chanelle.
Yeah, go ahead, Pete.
You're talking about moving files and folders, but can you not just do a copy and then paste it into your new folder?
Yeah, you can,
Simple Command C and then
Command Option V, but you need to know. I thought she was asking how to get into her new folder.
Right. Okay.
No, I understand that. I just needed to know if I could move one from the other.
Oh.
And I thought I could. I understand all that. So I thought I could because of something I'd read, but I wanted to confirm it. Thanks.
Yeah, and we did that in the Finder lesson. So, I moved folder things from the my documents or my Dropbox onto an SD card or from one folder to another. So you can definitely do that.
This is Darcy.
Yeah, go ahead, Darcy.
Yeah, I was just going to say, somebody mentioned a minute or so ago about asking about cutting and pasting. It's one thing that's important to remember, that in the Finder, you can't cut anything. You can't, but what you can do is you can copy, and then instead of pasting, you can move it. So that's how you do it. You don't cut for it, because that confused me for a while too, because in most other, like in Windows and then even on the Mac and other apps, there's the cut command, but there's not in the Finder. So you have to copy and move instead of cut and paste. So that's just a concept that you have to, it takes a little bit, especially if you're a new Mac user.
Definitely. Yep. All right. Who has our next question?
I'll ask a question. This is Christian.
Go ahead, Christian.
I was just wondering if anyone has used some of the AI programs and if you've found them accessible on the Mac, like Claude, I think. I've only used ChatGPT and Gemini a little bit, but wondering if anyone is using Claude, or I think there's one called Sora, and wondering what people's AI experience on the Mac is.
Well, who would like to, has anybody used any AI programs on the Mac? Like you, I've mainly used ChatGPT, so I have not tried those others. I also, let's see, I mainly use like the ChatGPT website. I do have the app, but it's hard to read the responses in the app, and so I find the website is a bit easier. Even then, it can be a little bit hit or miss. But yeah, does anyone else have any feedback on this? And I'm guessing from the silence, no.
Not. Nope.
I guess not. I am so sorry. Well,
that's okay. I was just curious. I'm looking into it and stuff, so I was wondering if other people had been using much.
This is Herbie.
Go ahead, Herbie.
You're asking about AI apps. What about that? Has anybody heard about this new one that Michael Doyce has just come out with?
Oh, yes. The Perspective.
And one reason why I mention it is I don't know if it will work or not, but, apps that are labeled as made for iPad can potentially work on the Mac.
No, it's available for the Mac. I read their email from Taylor today, and it is...
Okay, I hadn't read the full details, so...
available, and it uses Apple Intelligence, but it tries to, harness that more, so...
What's the name of it again?
Oh, and I deleted that. It's called Perspective. Perspective something.
And Perspective Intelligence.
Yeah, Perspective Intelligence, perhaps. Yeah.
I can try to find it too. But...
Yes, who is speaking?
This is Dexter.
Go ahead,
Perspective
Dexter.
is a more focused AI, specifically kind of oriented towards the things that we as blind people are doing, trying to, answer questions like, how do you do this on in JAWS, or how do you do this using, voiceover, that, those types of things, rather than being a oriented, like the large language models for answering anything.
Yeah, I thought, and they have a lot of offerings. I think this latest one, though, they did design for certain things like OCR, image recognition, even just having conversations. And I think the key is that it's supposed to use the intelligence that's already on your device.
So this is Herbie.
Correct. Yeah.
Go ahead, Herbie.
Yes, it is called Perspective Intelligence. I just verified that, so.
All right, perfect. And it does, I believe, have a subscription model. There's certain things you can do for free, but if you want voice chat, audio transcription, things like that, there's a price. It was like $4 or $5.49 a month, and or $40 some dollars. I can't remember. But yeah, that's definitely an option.
So this is Herbie.
Yes.
So I would try to get him to come on here, and maybe he will pop in. But just curious if anybody has ever used the service called Slack on their Mac.
This is Darcy.
Yes.
I have, but it's been a while, so I don't know. I have no, the last time I looked at it, it was usable. It had gotten better. Initially, it was really bad because it would go busy all the time and all that. But it's one of those apps where, it's an Electron app, so it's kind of like a web app almost, and you have to sort of learn all the various shortcuts and stuff. But it is doable. I think you're probably still better off to use the iOS or iPad or iPadOS if you have an iPad version. But it is there. It is usable. It's just, generally speaking, because we use the Slack for Mac accessibility. That's how we can, and more often than not, I'll just use the phone.
Mm-hmm.
But it can be done.
Okay. Yeah, I've never used it, and they're asking me about it, and I can.
Sandra here.
Yep.
I use Slack on the phone, and it's really accessible there, except for one thing. You cannot send anything like links or something on it. That piece just does not work, even though you can read the button. The button does not function.
Well, this is Herbie.
I cannot speak for the Mac, though.
So just to bridge the iPhone and the Mac here a little bit, I can think of one way when you tell me that you can't. So I've never used Slack, but I can already think of one way you potentially could send a link on there. And that is a little handy feature we have called the Universal Clipboard. So what you could do is use the Mac to copy the link, and then I would recommend being in the conversation on Slack, because I know from my experiences with WhatsApp, it helps to have it be in focus. Yeah. So you use the link, you use copy to, on the Mac, select the link, copy it, and then in the edit field, use your rotor to go to edit, go down to paste, and then hit your send button. So that's one way I would definitely try sending a link via Slack on the phone. So.
Okay, yeah, that might be the only workaround, but that's just my experience with it on the phone. I've not played with it on the Mac, so I can't tell you.
Well, that's your homework for class. So bring me a full report next week. No.
But there you go. That's my experience since you asked for it.
Well, I still have a quick question.
Go ahead.
Going back to a little while ago, you guys were talking about the cases where they had a front and then a bottom, and like a thing to put where it would protect from crumbs or whatever. Somebody had mentioned it. I was more curious and if there was a name for it.
That was me who said that. This is Christian.
Yeah, go ahead.
It's just a laptop case. Like if you look it up on Amazon, whatever your MacBook is, just make sure you look up, if you have a 13-inch, make sure you look up a MacBook Air 13-inch laptop case, and that should come up.
Okay, thank you.
And yeah, they don't all come with that little crumb thingy that I was talking about, but most of the time they do. And if not, you can buy those separately.
Okay.
Yep.
Can I ask another question?
Yeah, go ahead.
Hi. Okay. Would you
This is
explain?
Carolyn, right?
This is Carolyn. Yes.
Okay.
Would you explain the trackpad a little bit? Is it something I need to buy extra, or what do I use that for?
This is Darcy.
Go ahead, Darcy.
Okay, the trackpad is basically like it's like the equivalent of a mouse, and it's part of your laptop. It's right below the space bar. It's a big like rectangular piece of glass, really, and it's just built into the laptop, and you drag your fingers around to move around, but you probably won't use it too much as a voiceover user. There is the trackpad commander, which is a feature they have, and if you turn that on, a lot of the gestures that you said you use an iPhone, right?
Correct.
Yeah, a lot of the gestures on there are very similar. The trackpad starts to use it like, you can flick left and right and like double tap and all that kind of stuff on the trackpad. I personally find it doesn't work as well as iOS. I tend not to use that, but I know some people like it. I don't know, Chanelle, if you cover that in your classes or not. But,
a little bit, yeah.
But it's you might like it, you might not. Usually, I just keep the trackpad commander turned off, and I don't really use the trackpad very much. Now, some people, if they have some sight, they might use it more, or other people might have other uses for it. But for me, it's something I mostly ignore.
Okay, thank you so much.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't use it either, but I know there are people out there who do. So, I do mention it in the class because most people do have one. If you have a laptop, you automatically have one. But I am much more apt to use the numpad commander because I still have my fingers on the keyboard, and that just works for me. But the Mac offers us lots of ways to do the same things, which is really great. Okay, next question.
This is Paul.
Yeah, go ahead, Paul.
Going back to hardware for a minute, I got a Mac Mini a few weeks ago. And just
congratulations.
Thank you. I'm looking forward to getting into it. Just getting started with it. But it has on the back for connections, has like 5 C connectors. On the front, it's got at least 2 C connectors plus HDMI and a port for audio. And of course, what I had before, and I ended up using it more as an Intel machine, was a iMac that's from 2015. Anyway, with that machine, each one, there's a whole bunch of different kind of connectors and the connections for the back. And I'm a little just get myself confused. I think I'm overthinking it. But I've got a powered hub with like keyboards plugged in and an external monitor or an external hard drive. So any of those, I guess, can be connected directly to those with a C connector with the right cable.
Yeah, this is Darcy.
Go ahead, Darcy.
Yeah, you can connect. I mean, you could connect your hub up to it if you wanted to, but you probably have enough ports because they mostly do use USB-C now for the Apple stuff. So, and actually, it's probably Thunderbolt, which is faster than. But you can.
Right.
It's pretty much interchangeable in a lot. Like, I mean, unless you got specifically Thunderbolt hardware, which is faster, but you could plug all your stuff in to those USB-C connectors if you had assuming they fit, right? Like if you had an external drive, if it had a USB-C connection on it, or you'd have to get an adapter. But yeah, you can plug just about anything into those ports.
Okay, well, I've got this Anchor hub I had for a while, and it's got, like I say, the keyboard and mouse in there, and an external hard drive. Can I just put all that on to the one?
Like you could plug that Anchor hub into your Mac Mini if you wanted to, or you could, if you wanted to, you could take all the stuff off and just plug them into the Mac directly. It doesn't really matter too much. I mean, if the hub works and you don't want to change all your connections, then you could. There's no reason why you couldn't. And that's it. Really, whatever works for you, right? Like whatever, and that's sort of the promise of USB-C and Thunderbolt and all that stuff, right? Is like you have all these, everything that kind of uses the same connection, and you can just plug it in, and it should just work.
Okay. Well, I think I was getting myself overly confused, which isn't hard sometimes. Thanks very much.
Mm-hmm. All right. Yeah, there's always a lot of ports. Fortunately, they're becoming all USB-C, so I just plug whatever in, and it all works out. All right. Who'd like to take the next question?
This is Robert.
Yeah, go ahead, Robert.
A couple times ago, you guys were talking about when you were in Tahoe having problems when you open a link in Safari with VoiceOver just sort of saying tab or image or something, but not actually displaying the whole page. I hadn't updated at that point, and I was like, oh, I won't have that problem. Well, I updated, and I do have that problem.
Oh.
So did you all ever find a solution to that, or find out why it's doing that?
I have a solution.
Go ahead. Well,
Sorry,
let's hear from Darcy and then Herbie.
Well, one thing, and Holly actually discovered this, one thing that can work is if you go in. So this is if you're, for people who might not have experienced this, if you click on a link from like an email or something and it opens in Safari, then you don't see anything. I think it's actually there, just VoiceOver doesn't see it. Sometimes cycling VoiceOver will fix it, but sometimes it won't. But one thing that does always seem to fix it, if you hit, the button that goes into full screen.
Yep.
If you hit the full screen button, it will go into that. And then you can hit escape or whatever it is to exit full screen, and then it's there again. Like it's just that switching it to full screen and back out again. Or you could leave it in full screen if you wanted, but then it works. So that's
okay. That's our one of our tricks too. I just thought maybe you had something new, so it was like,
oh, sorry.
Okay, Herbie, were you going to say
yes?
Okay, go ahead.
So two things. One, first of all, the other thing you can do is you can put it in reader mode.
Reader mode. Yep.
All right. Well,
no, go ahead. Go ahead.
Yeah. So if you put it in reader mode, then that will also get it out of the image thing. And two. Yeah, and two, I just want to know what makes you so high and mighty or important or whatever it is that you felt confident this was not going to happen to you.
Well, because it wasn't happening to me in the earlier operating system. I thought, it's not going to happen.
It didn't happen to us in the early operating system, so that's the. I just want to know if you were
Herbie, when you go
into reader mode, I just wasn't ready to face the harsh reality that it was going to happen.
When you go into reader mode, can you come back out again?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Because sometimes you can't be in reader mode depending on what the page
is.
Because
when this happens to me, it helps that when this happens to me, a lot of the times it's articles I'm reading anyway.
Right.
So I'd be going into reader mode regardless. So
and that actually is faster than going to full screen and back.
Yeah.
Because you can do it.
But if you go to reader mode, you might have to go past the toolbar. It might not immediately come up, but it'll most likely be there. So
okay. I think anything that changes the page slightly. It seems like that gets VoiceOver unstuck, because I think the page is like sighted people. I don't think I think if sighted people were seeing this, we would hear about it lots. Right?
Yeah.
So I think that it's there just for whatever reason VoiceOver isn't seeing it. So anything that probably changes the page slightly or refreshes it or whatever, VoiceOver sees it again.
Well, if you just do a Command R to refresh the page, at least for me, that doesn't do it.
No, that doesn't do it. No, I guess it's not
that
refresh,
does not.
but anything that changes it in some other fashion.
Okay, well, thank you all very much. That's really helpful. I guess it's a VoiceOver bug.
Oh, it is. Yeah.
It is. It
I
is.
hope they fix it.
It's Shireen.
No, I think we had the other Robert speaking, right?
Yes.
Okay.
I would tell you that because I had my grandson was here when it happened to me. When the web page that was loaded was actually blank. It was just a blank white screen.
Really?
Oh, really?
And I did the full screen back in and then hit the escape to get out, and the website appeared. And he told me.
That's good to know.
I still think it must be just with VoiceOver present, though, because like I said, if that were happening for everybody, I think that would have been fixed pretty quick, right?
That's still good to know that VoiceOver is actually changing something on the page.
Yeah.
And what's also surprising is...
I wasn't smart enough. I should have realized I should have turned off VoiceOver, gone back to the email, and had him click the link and see if it came. But I wasn't smart enough to do that. Sorry, guys.
Well, I think most likely it's not going to happen because I think we would have heard about it. But there's always they can always be tested again next time you see him or whatever.
Yeah.
And I think that since you weren't naive to think that it wasn't going to happen to you, I think we can say you're the good Robert today.
Oh, Harvey.
Thanks,
dear.
Harvey can depend upon you.
All right, let's go to Shireen.
I'll just say for anybody that wants to know the Mac buzz, that's how we differentiate between the two Roberts, and sometimes it alternates as you hear. So.
I don't have anything to do with that. All right. Go ahead, Shireen.
Just a question about what you're talking about. With the full screen, is it that we have... I'm just trying to make sure I'm thinking about this right. Do we via left arrow to go over that way?
Yeah.
And then click it, or
also the FN key F works.
FNF, right?
Yep.
Okay. So, but it is the go navigating to the left and clicking that and then hitting escape to come out of it is what we're talking about. Okay.
Yep. Indeed.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I haven't had it happen, but I want to be prepared.
Yeah. And I've even had it happen when opening like HTML files on my computer. Almost. I don't know. I think. But yeah, it's weird. But thankfully, there are workarounds. All right. Who wants to ask the next question?
Actually, this is Herbie going back to the Safari bug.
Yeah.
I will say there are some sites where it does not do this. Like, it tends to be like sites that are blind friendly. It tends not to happen with. So,
such as
I think like AppleVis or.
Okay.
I don't remember it happening on the sites like that. If I click on like even like something with Hardship Consultancy, yes, I will look at the SPL scripts page on my Mac because I like Safari better. But anyway, my point is that I don't tend to see it as much on sites that are blind friendly.
Interesting.
That's interesting.
Also, I don't think it happens on Mac Visionaries. I want to say it does not always happen on Mac Visionaries. Interestingly enough.
Well, that's a Google group, though, I think.
No, not Mac Visionaries. The Mac news
You're tapping
site.
your Mac or microphone.
9 to 5 Mac.
Okay.
Yeah, there's so many Mac things floating around.
Yeah, go ahead, Robert.
Well, one place it happens all the time for me, which surprised me, is, and maybe it's because of how I do it, but I have in my doc a link for the iBug Zoom page.
Okay.
And almost every time I click on that link from my doc, the iBug page, as far as VoiceOver is concerned, doesn't actually open. And so I've typically been toggling VoiceOver off and back on, and that usually fixes it. But now I'll try the full screen switcheroo. But I was a little surprised that it does it on that one.
Yeah. Yeah, go ahead, Herbie.
One thing I was going to suggest, though, with the Zoom link, I just add it to my calendar and join from that there instead. So then, Safari
that's a good idea.
loads, but I don't have to actually worry about it. So
Yeah.
I wonder if there's certain things like maybe pages that use a lot of JavaScript. Like there's got to be something, right? Like certain pages like are causing an issue. I think it might be probably only Apple could figure that out, but there's got to be something, right? That there's got to be some pages that it doesn't work.
Right.
Hopefully it's something they're aware of. And they will fix it in a forthcoming.
One can hope. All right. Do we have any other questions or annoying bugs or anything we want to talk about?
Well, actually, this is Herbie.
Yes.
Because Robert kind of gave me this idea, but I'm just wondering if it could get to work. Like, if I'm on Mastodon, is there a way I could turn off VoiceOver and actually get it to click on a link that I'm currently focused on? Because then I could try the trick of
I don't know.
I know I'm asking impossible. I'm sorry, but
I kind of give gentle hints that we should move on from the topics, and it's kind of like,
well, it's a question of how to do something without VoiceOver, so it's a new topic related to the
fine.
old one,
Okay,
if
fine.
there's a shortcut key in whatever client you're using for Mastodon to open a link, I don't see why it would
enter,
work
and didn't do anything.
It didn't.
So.
Okay.
Oh, bummer.
All right. Well,
that is a bummer.
We can go into some more practical questions.
No, that's a good one because even on the iPhone, you're sometimes having to do things to turn VoiceOver off. It's a valid question.
Yeah, that's actually why I thought I'd ask it. It was the idea because it came up because of the other topic.
You know what I do in that situation? Sometimes I don't know if this would help here, but a lot of times if there's something that you want to test, if it works without VoiceOver being on. What I'll do is I will route the mouse pointer to the actual thing, right?
Yeah.
And then turn off VoiceOver and then just click the trackpad and see if that
There
does
you
anything.
go. There you go.
Except I don't have a trackpad.
Oh,
but,
you have a mouse plugged in? You probably don't have a mouse, I imagine.
No.
This is on your Mac Mini?
Yeah.
Yeah, so you probably don't have a mouse plugged in either, I suspect.
Nope.
Oh, well.
Oh. It was an interesting way just to test out Robert's theory.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a good way to test it for those who do have trackpads and
for sure.
And mouse.
Thank you,
Either
Kendra, for
wired
volunteering.
ones or unwired ones.
You've just volunteered yourself. I need
You just
to
have
click
to
on the
make
link
sure, as I'm sure we've all
somewhere and
learned,
turn
that
on VoiceOver. And
sometimes moving them, like you want to use that VO F5 beforehand to make sure the mouse is actually where you think it is, because sometimes rooting the mouse doesn't take it where you expect it to go.
No.
Is it VO Command F5?
That's to root it, and then VO F5 tells you where it is.
Yeah. It's gotten better, I would say. That it used to be that was very difficult to use, but still, there's less reason to do it. There used to be, in the really early days, you had to do that kind of stuff a lot because there were certain things that wouldn't even respond to VO space, so you had to click the mouse.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think you had to. Even when I started using the Mac in 2012, yeah, it's come a long way since then.
It has. It's
Now, of course, this particular site that I was reading talking about Spotify getting more expensive next year actually worked just fine when I loaded it normally. So.
Okay.
He wants you to know that.
Yeah. Well, he doesn't
I don't
use Spotify.
I don't either.
That's why he wants us to know it.
Yeah.
Because some of us like it, and he calls it Spotify. Why?
Yeah, well.
I don't know. Okay, well, who has another question?
This is Eli.
Yes, Eli.
Yeah, so I have a question. This was discussed, I think, very recently in the Mac, the iBug mailing list. So I thought yes, the one about where we OCR, the inbuilt OCR command, which is I think it's VO Shift L, but I'm just wondering how we actually use it since I've used it only once before. And I wonder if it OCRs the entire screen or just a specific section of the screen.
All right. I don't know. Does anybody know, because we had a question on the list about using OCR on the Mac, and somebody thought, they could or they would try VO Shift L on a PDF and it would get this big block of text, but I'd never heard of VO Shift L really it was more in the way I understood it is for describing an image and trying to recognize any text. But so Eli, your question is, how does that work?
Yes, how does it work? I mean, does it just OCR the entire screen or a specific
what part of the
section of the screen?
Yeah.
VO Shift. I know it's VO Shift L. I've used it. I heard about it during another Mac session by NYPL by Brad's call. So
right.
I learned it there.
Yeah. So does anybody else know anything about that? It's
Robert.
Yeah. Go ahead, Robert.
All right. I've been playing with that because I have some people send me emails that are a picture. It's got a picture and text, like a joke or something like that.
Right.
And one person even sent, I think it was a JPEG that was actually a copy of an article out of a newspaper. Two things. Number one, I have my email set up the way that you described it in the course, where everything's nice and compact and that. And it was reading part of what was on there. It worked better when I put the text of the email in full screen.
Ah, okay.
And then it read more of the text there. In other words, there was a time when I just did it in the normal, whatever showed up, and I did the VO Shift L, and it started to describe it, but I knew it wasn't all because of the context. And then I tried it in full screen, and it read more of it. The other day, today, I just tried one where it was an actual article. And the article had a picture of whoever the author was and 2 columns of text. It started reading the text in one column and then jumped over to the next column and was sort of confused. But within that, I tried to do VO left and VO right to see whether I could move the text, and I was partially successful, but not. But again, it did not work at all in the regular mode, but in full screen mode, it worked much better. But I didn't get all of it. But that's my experience with it. So in short little cartoons, it seems to work. Full screen works a little bit better. But if it's a more complicated text, like formatted text in columns, like a newspaper, it gets confused.
Yeah.
This is Darcy.
Go ahead, Darcy.
I think one practical use for it, because I was just playing with it and looking at all the, like in Zoom, all the Zoom controls, right? Like all the different things. And if you do VO Shift L on them, it will tell you kind of what they look like.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And so where I think that could be useful is I'm sure a lot of us are the tech support person for our family, right? And so sometimes when I'm working with a family member, they'll describe something like, do I click on and they'll describe some icon, and like, I don't know, like I know I click on the thing that says such and such, right? But if I could find the thing I wanted and actually get a description of it, like even a brief one, that might be enough to tell the person I was working with what they need to be looking for. So
that makes sense.
That could be potentially useful there.
Yeah.
But as far as actually reading, another thing you might want to do, I was just thinking about, if you did do a VO Shift L and you got a huge, long thing, what you could maybe do after that is do like the VO Shift, what is it, VO Shift C that copies the text to your clipboard.
Yeah, that's
and then paste it somewhere. Then you can kind of move through it.
That's a thought. Yeah, I forgot about that.
So is there a version of like I don't use JAWS at all, but I just heard they have like something called Picture Smart. Is there something like that for the Mac?
No.
That uses like AI to describe stuff on the screen?
There's that VOCR
thing. Yeah, VOCR. I've used that sometimes. It doesn't, I don't know if it really describes things. You'd have to get an API key, I think, for ChatGPT. But I've used it more if I've been installing apps or sometimes when you first load some apps, they don't always there's, screens, pop-up screens that I don't know. It's been a while since I've
like when you're first setting up your Mac?
Right. Or
yeah, it like asks you the language and all that stuff.
Yeah, no, that stuff is accessible when you set up your Mac.
Well,
yeah, that's accessible. I don't know. Seems like there's been programs that Herbie's had me to try to get to work on his, but I've used VOCR, but I've never used it to describe.
This is Herbie.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, the app in question was a DJ app that I wanted to see if, because people were saying it was now accessible, but I wasn't getting anywhere with it.
Yeah, and I was trying the VOCR, and I was actually using the VOCR on a website a few weeks ago once. It had something to do with payment. It was a bit, and I couldn't get, I don't even remember now, but I was able to get VOCR to read me the extra controls that I needed to click on. It was kind of weird. I don't remember. Probably shouldn't even be mentioning it, but it was something to do with
kind of like the screen recognition on the iPhone.
Yeah.
Yeah. But VOCR, I used VOCR. Sometimes I just play with it and randomly, see what's on my screen with it, even though I can read everything with my Mac. But yeah, I don't know. So let's see. Did we? Hopefully I think that we tried to answer Eli's question to the best of our ability, I think.
Thank you so much.
Yep. All right, who has the next question?
This is Darcy. I actually have a question.
Sure.
And this is something, I feel like either this is a bug or I'm just missing something. There's a lot of times where there'll be something that comes up in like a popover, right?
Uh-huh.
And I'll make a change to the popover, and the only thing I can do, the only way I can get rid of it is to hit escape, but that cancels the changes. Like a good example is in like calendar or reminders when you have to change stuff, and I cannot figure out on the Mac how to accept the changes. Have any of you guys?
Oh.
So I usually just end up using my phone or my iPad, but I just like there's a popover, and when you stop interacting, it'll say like hit escape to dismiss the popover or whatever.
Right.
And that's great, except that doing that, discards any changes that you make. I don't know if any of you guys have seen what I'm talking about.
I know what you mean about popovers and things. I wonder, yeah.
Because there's no OK button or like dismiss or anything like that. Like with some of these, like it's, so there's no.
This is Herbie.
Go ahead, Herbie.
I think I've seen this actually, and yeah, I think I have seen it because I remember coming across it a while back, and I think it was even in the previous update too. It wasn't even in Tahoe.
And I feel like I must be missing something because surely, like, there must be a way to make these changes, right? Like, I don't know if there's some sort of keyboard, but if you think also if there was some sort of keystroke that would do it, that it would tell you that in the help text. But I know I've seen it in other places, but the places that spring to mind immediately right now are calendar and reminders.
Yeah. I know, and I was trying to think because I tried to create a calendar appointment the other day on the Mac, and I'm trying to remember what I did, if that came up for me or not. Sorry, was somebody about to speak?
Robert, I have I think a related question, but
sure.
It's about I think it's called the system dialog, but it sounds like the pop-up that was being described. When I get a Pages document that is really, it's a Word document, but I open it in Pages. All right. I know that there's a system dialog that comes on that tells me font substitutions and that, but VoiceOver doesn't announce it, and I can't find it. I know it's there because I've used Pages for years. And I know that comes up, and I know that there are font substitutions, and then there are choices you can make. and it should be coming up as a system dialogue, I believe, but I can't get VoiceOver to announce it to me or let me navigate it. Does anybody know what I'm talking about?
I don't know that specific one, but I think sometimes when there's a system dialogue and focus doesn't automatically go to it, if you use the application chooser, where you do like the VO F1 twice, sometimes the system dialogues are in there and you can select it from there and you can get to it. I don't know if that happens in the Pages one or not, but sometimes that happens. Like there are some apps that do that, like that put up these dialogues and they don't tell you. Some apps, they'll make a noise, right? Like there'll be like a persistent sound if there's a system dialogue, but sometimes there's not, so you don't always know. That's something to look at, though. Look at the app chooser and also the window chooser, because it might be just another window as well. It might be listed as another window, but it's not like a proper window that you can switch to with Command accent or whatever. It's just a separate thing. So those are things you can look at, though.
Okay, thanks. I'll try that.
Yeah, and I'll have to try to deliberately create a calendar event just to notice the thing with popovers, because that's gotta be frustrating. You want to make a change and you can't because the only way to exit it is to hit escape. That's gotta. Ooh.
And there must be something else. And the reason I even thought of it is because when we were talking about VOCR earlier, I thought maybe I should try and look at that too.
You might, that's something I would probably do.
Yeah, I need to get that, because the problem is I use that thing so infrequently that whenever I do, I'm like, how do I work this again? Yeah.
I just put mine in my dock and then I can load it from there, and then and they've made it easier over the years. You used to have to change some value and something, and I forget what, but it's a lot easier to use now.
Right. Yeah, I think I remember that. I think I remember that when it was new, that there was some stuff you had to do.
Yep. Okay. Well, I wish we had more answers tonight. Sorry.
Ugh. Well, can I ask oh no, here's a question.
I
was going to ask you about Perky Duck. But
yes, okay.
Because I don't know. It's a
I know what
emulator,
it is. Yep.
But I don't know what it is. I don't know what that means. That it's a emulator.
So what it means is basically you can type using the 6 keys of your home row. We've talked in here about how I tried the new VoiceOver feature where you can use your home row to emulate a Braille keyboard. So you're typing in Braille. That does not work in the latest in VoiceOver as they probably expect it or want it to. But Perky Duck actually is a program that takes your input and it's just written as plain Braille dots. It can be exported to a DXB, which is a Duxbury file. I think it can be exported. I can't remember if it can be exported to BRF. But anyway, it's a way for somebody going through, let's say, the transcribing program or any sort of program where you're required to write Braille, where you can do that, and then a teacher can check over the work. And I am trying to remember if I've used it on the Mac. I know I've downloaded it. It's one of those things I've used more on Windows. I want to say it's accessible for the Mac, but it's been forever since I've used it. So yeah, were you interested in it for any particular reason, or?
No, I'm just having fun with all this new tech stuff that I'm learning about that I don't bump into in my regular day-to-day interactions. So I'm like, I hear something new. I'm like, what's that? What's that? So it's something shiny, and so then I'm chasing it.
Yeah, is it? It's kind of fun to be able to write Braille, but it's not. It wouldn't be translated into print. It would. It's just a Braille file, and it looks like Braille visually, and
So it wouldn't really benefit me necessarily.
Not unless you're going through like a Hadley course or the certified, transcriber, proofreader program, that sort of thing, where you were writing or submitting lessons.
Okay.
It's like it's like having a Braille writer, except it's not a Braille writer. It's a yeah.
So is it SDF? And
FDS
LKJ?
and JKL. Yeah.
Okay. Okay, so here's my Mac question then, I guess. It has nothing to do with that. I talked about maybe having to go back to Sonoma. And I'm just wondering how I will know. I know you talked about commanders and things are different and better, but I don't know from a practical standpoint how I will know what adjustments I have to make that, apply to Sonoma that I've learned differently on Tahoe.
That's
a great question. Go ahead, Herbie.
I mean, nothing significant, really. You don't have a phone app in Sonoma, so if you've been using that, get used to that being gone. There's, otherwise, I mean, maybe minor things, but nothing that should really trip you up.
And the commands thing, it was just easier to add voiceover commands and do things in the commanders table, whatever, was a bit better laid out. That being said, and I think that was 2 versions ago. Yeah, Sonoma was 2 versions ago. Yeah. So, you can create even more voiceover commands because you can use more things, but they've made the layout more complicated. It's doable, but that was all that was. Yeah, go ahead, Eli.
Just adding on to what Herbie mentioned, the main difference, there's also the removal of the launchpad, and there's a hotspot with applications on hotspot, which is not there, in the Sonoma and the earlier versions of macOS.
Hotspots. I'm trying to remember.
Launchpad.
Right.
Yeah, Launchpad has been removed, so you have to use the...
Okay. I removed the Launchpad a long time ago, so...
Yeah.
Well, I just never used it, but yeah.
Yeah, I haven't used that. And hotspots, no, that's not in the rotor, that's the window spots.
Actually, they could both be in the rotor, I think. Yeah. And yeah. I don't think creating hotspots was any more or less reliable in Sonoma versus whatever we have now, Tahoe. But all right,
okay, so nothing really.
No,
nothing to be afraid of.
All right. Any other questions?
This is Darcy.
Go ahead.
So just because I have to think about this because I always have trouble remembering the California towns, but Sonoma was 2 versions ago, right? Like, wasn't Sequoia the previous one?
Yes, Sonoma was 2. Mm-hmm.
Okay, yeah.
She has an old computer.
I have an old
Okay,
laptop,
okay.
yeah.
It was way easier to remember when they were the cats. The cats are way easier to remember than the California towns.
I don't think any of them are all that easy to remember. I personally like, 26, 25, whatever.
Oh, that's gonna be like, it sounds weird now, but that's gonna be way easier in the future when like they're all in sync, all the Apple operating systems are in sync, and it's the year, right? Like, so
yep.
That's going to be way easier.
That is way easier. Well, technically, I think it is still macOS 26, but they still call it Tahoe as well.
Yeah,
so,
it's both.
Yeah.
Tahoe was the project name.
Yeah.
All right. Any other questions? Or thoughts? Do you think they should continue coming up with names that we'll never remember? Or Do you think?
I think the names are fun, but I understand the practicality of the numbers.
I like them, but yeah,
Okay.
they were. But for people who are newer to the Mac, before they were California towns, they used to be because like the first one that had voiceover in was called Tiger, and then there was Leopard and Snow Leopard and Lion and all that. So, and then eventually they switched to the California names. But I personally found the cats easier to remember, but that was also, too, back then, they didn't come up with a new operating system every year. Sometimes it was like 18 months to 2 years.
Okay.
So it was easier because you had it longer, right?
Right, that makes sense.
So you've been at this for a long time, Darcy.
I have. 2006 is when I got my first Mac.
Ooh.
Kendra here.
Yes, go ahead, Kendra.
Well, and the thing with the California towns is I think some people remember them better than others based off of where they either live, whether it's in California, around California, or across on the other side of the world. Whereas if they match it up with the year, everyone's going to have a better time remembering it.
Yeah.
And I think they ran out of cat names because there's only so many pieces of cats.
Hey, did they ever use Cheetah or?
They did. Cheetah.
Okay.
I think Cheetah might have actually been the first one.
Okay.
I don't remember the order of the first because there was like Cheetah, Puma, Panther, and Jaguar were the first ones before, but that was before voiceover happened, so I wasn't paying as much attention to Mac stuff back then. But yeah, that's and then I think they have used most of the big cats that.
Yeah, and then why would they use Lion and then Mountain Lion? It's kind of whatever.
Well, Lion is one type of cat, Mountain Lion another.
Yeah.
It is a way to confuse you.
It is, but that's why.
I think they just like that fun. They were just
they should have called the M1 year the Big Apple instead, but it's just.
Oh, sorry. I think I was Robert. Yeah, it was one of them.
Yeah, I was just thinking about it when I first got the Mac. I had Leopard, and I believe that Snow Leopard came out on a CD. Is that right? Is that how it worked back then?
Yeah,
I think so.
I think you're right.
I think Snow Leopard might have been the last one to be on a CD because the first few did come out on CD, so you had to wait to get the CDs. And
oh wow,
yep.
Yeah, I was just thinking about that. It seems so long ago in a way, but that's how it worked back then.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, well, Jaws used to be on floppy disks, so
yeah, I remember that.
Yeah.
I'll have some of those Mac CDs. I can't do anything with them, but
okay.
Oh, I'm sorry, someone else was talking.
Yeah, the other Robert. Yeah, I think Robert. Arizona Robert, right?
Yes, the Arizona Robert. Yes, back then I remember loading a Windows machine with floppy disks, and I was working for the special ed department, and the student needed JAWS, the early version of JAWS. And so it was one set of floppies to get the Windows up, made sure I configured the Windows, then I had to load the JAWS. And then all I did was pass it off because I didn't know how to use JAWS. I was a sighted use back then.
What, Herbie?
I remember back in the day it was such a big deal when JAWS stopped using floppy disks for the key, but now the Macs don't even have CD drives, let alone the software being
no.
Mm-hmm.
Same with the PCs.
Yeah, but our speaking of old Macs in Herbie's office, the 2012 one, we still have that, and that still has a CD thingy. A CD slot.
This is Kenny.
Oh, hi, Kenny.
Hey, how's it going? I had
Good.
a couple of questions.
Sure, get us on topic here.
First question is there a good OCR program for the Mac?
Oh, boy. We were just, okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So let's, what are you wanting it to do? Like, are you wanting it to actually read the screen or read documents or?
I read, documents now, just kind of like.
Okay.
Something equivalent to like whatever you can get on Windows.
Yeah. So does anybody know offhand of Or does anybody use OCR apps on the Mac to?
Yes, Eli.
Yes, go ahead, Eli.
Yes, to respond to Kenny, he's in my Mac group, my WhatsApp Mac group, so that's how I learned this name. Anyway, the app that I use for OCR on my Mac, I use a DocuScan Plus. I also use Prismo. Those are, real document OCR apps. Those are apps we use to actually scan PDF documents and have them become editable. Then there are the single screen OCR apps. Like I just learned about I know I just learned, but I started using it quite frequently now. The VO-Shift app and also the VOCR app. Those are you can use to scan single window screens, I guess. So, but I use mainly DocuScan Plus is my main OCR app on my Mac.
Okay, I didn't know DocuScan Plus was still around or that it worked.
It's still around.
Okay. And you have to pay for that, right?
Yes, it's a single purchase. It's now owned by Numa Solutions, if I'm not mistaken, but I'm not really sure. I purchased it about 2 years back.
Okay.
Prismo is the other one that is also by Create. I think it's called Create. They are the developer of Prismo. I have Prismo too. Those are all one-time purchase apps. So DocuScan Plus is a one-time purchase. Prismo is one-time purchase, and Prismo, I think you can get it from the App Store, but I'm not sure.
Yeah, you can.
Yeah, and there's also VoiceStream. They have a version for the Mac. Unfortunately, I think it is now a subscription model, but I want to say theirs also does scanned like PDFs.
Okay, so they have the VoiceStream with the VoiceStream scanner built in.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, if I need a document, I have not. I will use my iPhone more often than going for. I at one time I had ABBYY Fine Reader on my Mac, but there's a lot of great apps that do the same thing on the iPhone. So, all right.
Kendra here.
Yeah, go ahead, Kendra.
Yeah, I've not played with PDFs on the Mac, and it doesn't sound like there's as many options for it as the phone, but I usually use them on my phone or in my Windows.
So by default, well, I mean, I shouldn't say by default. If PDFs are text-based, they open in Preview just fine. Preview or Chrome or I think even Safari. I don't know how the rest of you open PDFs, but I'll use Preview or just to kind of look at it. And then if I really want to do something with it, I'll put it in another app. But Preview works just fine for the most part for text-based PDFs.
Yeah, but the camera ones or the picture ones are not accessible anywhere, no matter what you do to it.
Well, you can, you just have to use programs to convert it. Yeah, go ahead, Herbie.
Yeah, there are ways to make the picture ones, rough accessible. I had a lot of experience with that back in the college days. So there are options, and yeah, you could try even VoiceStream for the Mac if you want to, but
Yeah, and I don't know if they just use the annual subscription though. If you did use VoiceOver,
no, it's a separate one.
Oh, it is totally separate. Like you can't. If I bought VoiceOver on the phone, you can't convert that to your phone to the Mac.
Unless they've changed. I know it used to be a separate thing.
Mm-hmm.
It's possible they've changed it, but I know it used to be separate. I've never. Really
because I just have it for my phone.
I've never found a use for it on the Mac myself. Really, it was cool. It was great that you could load like audio files into it, for instance, if you wanted. But I could just as easily do that on the phone. It was just
exactly.
That's what I found on the Mac. It was just an easy way to get stuff into it, right? Like you could get, like if you were connected to like things like Instapaper and stuff like that, or just to put PDFs into it, but that wasn't. Because at the time I was paying the subscription thing, but it wasn't worth it just for that, So I didn't end up keeping it for.
Yeah, I've never played with it on the Mac, but I do have it on my phone, and I use it for books all the time on my phone. Books
What
and
are we
documents.
talking about? We use what?
Voice Stream Reader is the name of the app. And
Yeah, this is Robert. I do have the subscription on the Mac, but unless I'm just forgotten and not paying attention, I don't think the one for the Mac, at least the one that I have, I don't think has a scanning component.
I thought it could take a PDF. It could. Okay.
This is Herbie.
Maybe not.
Yeah, I can read it. It can read a
you
PDF.
can read a PDF, but it probably can't drive a scanner. Like you have to scan it somewhere else, and then you know what I mean. Like you can't.
Yeah, they had one called Voice Stream Scanner.
Yeah.
A separate program called Voice Stream Scanner. It was on the phone.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Yes. And I thought Voice Stream Reader still. Yeah, you're probably right. I thought. But yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, this is Kenny, the original developer. They did have Voice Stream Reader, then they had Voice Stream Scanner. Then they said, hey, we can combine the two in Voice Stream Reader, and then did this for the phone. And so there was that. And then they sold the Voice Stream Reader. I don't know what they do with the scanner part.
I still use the scanner on my phone. I thought they were both combined on the Mac, but I could be wrong. I barely used it. Yeah. So who knows?
This is Herbie.
Go ahead, Herbie.
No, I'd heard people in the past touting the ability to read inaccessible PDFs on the Mac with Voice Stream Reader, and that was one reason why they liked it. So
okay, so I'm not making things up. Most of the time, I'm probably making things up, but
no, I remember hearing comments about that back.
I love Voice Stream for PDFs on the phone and things like that for that very reason.
Yeah. Okay.
And I had another question. This is Kenny again. It being near the Black Friday, does anybody know of any must-have lower-priced Mac apps that you probably couldn't get at this kind of price at the time of the year?
Yeah, go ahead, Herbie.
So one thing you can take advantage of for on both your Mac and your iPhone is Apple TV has a 6-month discount for $5 a month.
Okay, yeah, I have Apple TV.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember. And this is actually what I thought you were going to say, Herbie. I think I heard that until the end of November, Rogue Amoeba, the people who make a lot of the audio apps, I think they have some sort of deal.
Oh, you're right.
Do you remember?
I did see that email.
Off. Wasn't
is it 11? Yeah.
Who is it?
The latest thing I've seen from them is the brand new sound source where you can direct audio to multiple output sources.
Oh, that's cool.
Are you saying Roku?
You can already do that.
Rogue Amoeba.
Amoeba.
It's the company, whenever you hear my voiceover say loop back, when I'm done teaching and, whatever, and that's where I'm turning off the voiceover. That's the same company that makes loop back. So, and all the other
If you're doing anything sort of kind of out of the ordinary with audio on your Mac, chances are they make an app that will help you do it. They make a lot of really powerful apps for doing like recording audio, streaming audio. Just can't even describe all the things that you can do with their stuff. And they're a company that really, really takes accessibility seriously. Like they, apps that are kind of very visual in nature, they've made work extremely well with VoiceOver. Mm-hmm. So they're a company that I like to support, not only because I like a lot of their apps, but because they really take accessibility seriously.
Definitely.
I'm a newbie. I'm just getting good at Finder.
Yeah, you don't need any of their stuff yet. You might at some point, but
Shireen, if it makes you feel any better, I barely know how to use the stuff. I still have to ask Herbie, how do I do this?
So she knows a lot more than she
I do not. I really don't. Ugh. It totally overwhelms me. So, but I think Eli had a question.
Yeah.
Another question my mom responding to Kenny was about the Black Friday deal. I think I saw and I in fact shared it in the group where just per second there's a 50% Black Friday discount on the App Store. It's available for the Mac as well.
On what site?
Just per second. The app Just per second.
Just press record.
Okay. Okay.
So there's a 50% discount, and I heard it's available for the Mac as well. I'm not sure, but that's what I heard.
I've never used that, but I know people really like it.
I have a question. If you buy it for the iPhone, do you have to buy it separately for the Mac?
Well, you see, it's a one-time purchase. So
a lot of things you do. I don't know. I'm the wrong.
Thing, if it's the worst thing, you need to purchase it separately on the Mac. That I can tell you, I'm 100% certain. But just to take out from what I read on its website, it is a single purchase for all Mac, iPhone, and iPad, wherever else it runs on. It's one-time purchase.
Okay. And with that, some of you know a lot more about deals and stuff than I do or care to know. Anyway, we have reached the end of our program. So thanks so much for coming and participating. Thanks for asking questions, giving answers, helping out. Without you, this program would not continue. We'd just be sitting here for an hour and a half. So
thank you.
Thank you.
Well, thank you and happy Thanksgiving.
Yes,
everybody.
happy Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Not sure if we'll be meeting next month, but stay tuned to your emails. I'm not sure what iBug is doing if they're taking a break or whatever. So, all righty. Well, have a good night.
Bye,
everybody.
Wait a second.
Good night. Happy Thanksgiving to everyone.